Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Super Carlin Gaming Mario Kart 8 Roulette Challenge. I went for a song that time.
I noticed it.
Yeah, that was nice. I like it.
Yeah.
If people could have seen the fact that you were swinging your arms while doing it,
to-
I feel like it would have amplified the effect.
Probably. That's why I do it in the show after the show.
I was like, welcome to the show.
After the show. It happens right after the show.
Available on
Cheers.
Patreon.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't know what we're singing, the show after the show is a show that happens after we
show.
film an episode of Super Carlin Brothers.
Where we talk about the show.
We talk about the show and like our research process and other things that maybe didn't get included. And if you'd like to watch the show after the show,
It's available for $5 patrons.
$5 patrons, or by sponsoring us on YouTube, which should just be a button right there.
Yeah.
But you get more bang for your buck on Patreon, because then you can be on the Discord server too. But if you want to be more convenient and just on one site, YouTube works as well. It's your choice. Whatever. Let's get some characters.
17.
7, 14, 15, 16. Oh, Toadette. Excellent. Excellent.
10.
Oh, man. Big D Bowser.
Oh, man.
There you go.
The Dudley of Bowser's.
Dudley. Had that big D.
12.
Big D.
Oh, the Splat Buggy. This is pretty good. I'm liking
man.
the setup already.
8. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, the
yeah.
mod. Look at this.
Some of
Yeah.
that. 24.
Boom. Okay. I like it. I like
This
it.
is good.
This is
5.
good.
All right.
That is hilarious.
Yes.
10.
Oh, the gold
Man.
tires. Fun.
Oh, man. So much handling and
Look at my
traction.
speed.
15.
Oh, boy. Ben, you have one of the funnest rigs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The stats are terrible.
Terrible.
They're just
For
the
what we're
worst.
doing.
Yeah.
But,
But maybe it's for me. Maybe it's for
maybe
me.
it's- you know,
'Cause we had good
sometimes-
stats last time, and I did terrible.
That's true. That's true. So, we're going to do the Triforce Cup. This time we've got frickin' SNES Rainbow Road.
SNES.
Honestly, it's the Ice Ice Outpost that gives me more trouble at this point. I don't
Interesting.
like it.
Let's just dive right on in.
We're just going to dive right on in. We're going to get some questions rolling. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Willow Jones has a question.
Willow, I love
Willow
your name.
Jones.
I
Great
like the name
name.
Willow, too. I really do.
Willow.
Yeah. How do you deal with being attracted to someone else when you're happily in a long-term relationship?
Oh,
wow.
interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
man.
Oh, boy.
I mean, well, I guess there's like varying ways that you can be attracted to somebody, like
Yes.
recognizing that they are physically attractive versus the maybe
like emotional,
feeling-
yeah,
yeah.
like you want to
Like-
date them kind of thing.
right.
That's yeah. Those are two different issues. If you just recognize that they're physically attractive and like, man, I like looking at that person. Like, you can probably just deal with that.
Right, like for example, we have a waiter who is a guy at one of our favorite lunch spots who I can recognize is like a rather attractive dude, but gosh, is he annoying!
Wait, who? I'm trying to think now. Who is this?
Bitcoin.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I love that we call him Bitcoin.
Oh man, that's what's so annoying. Anyway.
Anyway, the moral of the story is that there's a difference between physical and then emotional attraction. And
Yeah.
okay, so here's one thing that I feel like I maybe have a unique perspective on, even if it's not going to be the most popular perspective in the world.
what happened? What
That
happened?
is the Ben Carlin perspective.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know, sometimes you got to make the unpopular decisions to make a difference in this world, Derek.
Exactly. Okay, so I was in a 7.5-year relationship with somebody who I think in varying parallel universes, maybe Ben would just decide, you know what, this has been such a commitment in my life. This person has been around forever. Maybe this is just what you do. I feel like it was one of the better decisions I've made in my life to not find myself in a position where
Oh, no.
Man, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. You only do it every time I'm talking, but I mean, whatever.
I lost the race.
I know. I mean, but like, I'm like pouring my heart out.
I
over
gotcha.
here and like,
Ben, that's the charm of playing Mario Kart while answering questions.
Sure, but like, I mean, we could maybe ask like our resident data senator to see how many times you interrupt me versus me interrupting you.
I
just gave him
have
so much
recently,
work.
learned that apparently I'm an interrupter, at least in terms of Ben, and I feel bad because this is not something I was totally aware of.
Isn't that the worst when you,
Yeah,
like,
you're
you
like,
have
oh,
that kind of realization?
no.
You're like, oh, oh, I definitely do that, don't I? Oh,
Now,
gosh.
now I'm noticing it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
turds.
Shoot.
I'm a bad person.
You're not a bad person. I'm giving you a hard time.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, okay. So where I was going with this is, I often think that people find themselves pre-marriage maybe pot committed, if that would be
Sure.
an appropriate thing. Where it's
Yeah.
like I've dated this person for so long that like it would seem detrimental to change things up, even though there could maybe be a better match out there for me. I would say that if you've been in a long-term relationship and you have found that this is more than just like a fleeting, quick little crush type thing and more like actual genuine feelings, that maybe an assessment of that situation could be brought to the table. This is not me suggesting you break off your long-term relationship, but if it's something that you went to the extent to ask us advice about, maybe it is,
Yeah.
you know, it's more than just your average recognition of attraction.
It could also be that you're not even like necessarily totally attracted to this person. You just got like an issue happening in your actual relationship, which is
Sure. And that
opening up like this spot in your mind or something.
Well,
That-
and
That's interesting.
there is absolutely something to be said for the idea that somebody who would not contain a particular problem that your current relationship does include does not make them the complete package, but it can make them seem attractive because it's like maybe your person is somewhat lazy and you find someone who is very driven. That personality may have tons of other issues for you, but because you are focusing on this one particular thing, it's like you're putting more weight than you should into the value that that person has. Does that make sense?
that
Yeah.
does.
Have you ever had it where the
crap.
other person in question is a good friend of the person that you're with?
I think maybe people have asked us that on this channel, but I don't think I've ever had that in real life, though.
Really?
No.
Oh man.
Or like you're like attracted to your girlfriend's friend.
Yeah, yeah, essentially exactly that.
Sure.
I find, well, how I handled it was just
Man.
to talk to the woman that I was dating and be like, I really like your friend, probably a little too much. Hang out with her as much as you want, but I'm not gonna.
Wow, I
Wow.
cannot believe
That is-
that.
that's
is
Look
some
at you
amount of
being
honesty.
upfront. Yeah.
Okay, I have had the situation arise before where I did not find myself attracted to like in any type of way towards the person, but I was jealous of the person, I guess. So it was like they inhibited a lot of qualities that I would be like excited to find in a person. This was back when I was in my previous relationship, whereas my current one now has all of this in spades. But my last relationship, the girl was very shy, and one of my friends started dating someone who just everybody in the group liked, and it seemed like everybody was always very excited when she came around, and I was like, man, I wish that is how people felt about the girl that I was with.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, you were like you like recognize that it wasn't the person in particular, just like the quality.
Yes, like the effect. Like I was like, man, I would really like for that to be like the person who I'm dating.
I am so interested as to who you are talking about, and I will ask you after we are off camera.
Off camera.
So we do not need to name names, but maybe I have a guess. I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
Anyway, next question.
Sure.
Hopefully
Sure.
we answered that. I don't know. We just started talking.
We started droning a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel-
like that, but,
I feel like we kind of answered that. Hopefully, something in there helped there, Willow. And again, your name is awesome.
Yes, great name.
Loki Williams.
Loki.
Help! My boyfriend absolutely sucks at texting me back, even on Snapchat. He's constantly leaving me on read, even when I ask him a question. I tried sitting him down to talk about it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, but he got defensive and won't fix it. What should I do?
He just won't text you back.
Apparently not.
Like,
Seems like a strange characteristic
yeah.
of social partner.
I think it is. I would assume this sounds sort of like a high school relationship. It is very easy to read into the like politics of every little social interaction, and I would say that more often than not, reading into them so much makes you way more paranoid than.
Yes.
Like,
You are.
Yeah.
You were totally correct in this regard. See, I think what you might be finding, if this is like a rather consistent characteristic, if he texts everybody else back consistently, then maybe there's something else.
It sounds like he doesn't like you.
That could be the issue.
That could be the case, but
if this is maybe just a characteristic, like we have friends that just suck at texting. In fact,
Right.
I think Jay, no offense to you, I'm not trying to be mean at all. You are not usually great at conveying a whole lot of emotion through your text. They often can seem cold.
interesting.
Try not to be mean.
Interesting.
I think some of it even comes from just generation differences where you didn't grow up with nearly as much amount. Because Dad is also the same way about this, where it's like you send him something that you're super excited about, and he'll respond with like "cool," or like "great,"
Yep.
you know, and
Yep.
it's like,
More than that.
right, yeah.
Interesting.
I
Well,
just-
I will try and stop interrupting you, which I think I just did, and text you warm, fuzzy things.
Warm fuzzy. Just, I mean, a couple exclamation points would go a long way.
Interesting. I did not.
No.
I'm so curious. A lot of times I just won't respond to text messages, which is a little bit born out of having had like an office job for like a long time, where I would just like got into the habit of like, I don't need to respond to this person right now, or this is later on the to-do list, or after I've thought about it, or something like that. And then, as is the case, like the advantage if you have like a job is that it'll still be unread in your inbox, whereas with a text message it just sort of gets lost, and then that happens.
Right.
Well, a lot of times I don't respond because it's on a group text, and I am just not the person qualified to respond, and I'm just going to wait for Beth to do it, because I'm just going to get things wrong.
Because Beth has the information.
Beth has the information, and yeah. Anyway.
No, my point there though was actually not to say that there's an issue with the way you communicate through text, Jay, but rather just that like I understand that it's part of who you are. Like I don't read into it if I say something and you text back, okay. I'm not like, oh my gosh, he must be pissed.
Do you feel like that's like a price of admission thing when it comes to the relationship? Like, part of the thing about dating this person for
that could
Loki
be the case, yeah.
is that like he just doesn't like texting. Like that's part of being in a relationship.
But
with him.
maybe the price of admission for her is to text a lot.
Could be, yeah.
Could
and
be.
then like, if you're not willing to pay the price of admission, then you don't get to go on the ride.
I will say this, is that the way you text is not the relationship. Like, the way you communicate socially like this is not the relationship itself. Like it can feel... I remember just going through this in high school. Like, there are, like, specific, like, ways. Like, oh, if I said this, you should always say this. And if you don't, then it's like, what's wrong? And I was super bad about stuff like this in high school. And it's like, the obsessiveness over stuff like that would, like... lead to actual problems,
Yes.
and then when you read into things, and then like they start actually being true when at first they weren't, and then that can just get out of control. So I would address the situation if he's like obviously texting everyone else back and no one else has this problem.
Yeah.
That's like
that's a different issue.
that's more of a red flag. If he just doesn't text anyone back, then maybe that's just how he is.
Right.
know?
No, and I have a quick anecdote about exactly what you were just describing. So, when I was dating one of my high school girlfriends, it was during the days of MySpace.
MySpace,
And
top 8.
I had the issue where she was rather popular and went to a different school, and she would very, very frequently get comments from guys like on her public wall. And it was one of these things where she would be like, this is not a thing. Like, they're doing that even because they know it, like, bugs you. Like, don't worry about them. That was sort of like her explanation for it. So what she ultimately ended up doing was making all of the comments go private to where
Right.
they were no longer
Oh.
and what her attempt was to do was like...
To
when
shield you from it.
Right,
Yeah.
it's like when you see these things that makes you upset, I'm just going to take them away so
that way you
can't
don't see them. Now
anymore.
you'll feel better.
Right. Unfortunately, MySpace was still like an HTML-driven page where you could go to the page source code where everything, all of the
Was just
information on
visible?
that page
Oh my gosh.
was still just visible.
Oh, you're
Okay.
like hacker
So you could, like,
MySpace.
you could like pull up, it would be like a
Yeah, just
note
view source. Yeah.
view source, and it would be like a notepad page where it just had like all of the encryption or whatever as to how that page itself worked, and I could still see them anyway. And it was me, fortunately, going through the obsessing over nothing thing when I was 15 years old.
Yeah,
and
that's
I feel
the
like,
good news is that, like, yeah, learn this lesson now.
Right.
Because I think this was totally a thing. Well, like, because, like, I feel like now there's a little bit more structure to how to behave on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas we were all just sort of, like, floundering in the water watching the Titanic sink. Like, what do we do?
Right. Yes.
But like, I think I learned a lot of this stuff, like, in high school, and then come college, like, Beth had never really dated a whole lot of people before me, and, like, I don't think she knew how to handle a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
And
I even think our parents' generation, as Facebook has become a thing, and you have the ability to reconnect with people from your past. All of a sudden, it's like, what? How did this person who formerly was like completely otherwise gone,
right,
you know,
return,
unfindable,
yeah,
like is now back in the equation? The world got very small when the internet came about.
Yeah.
So no, I think learning how to handle these things is probably case by case specific a little bit. So.
Ben, I think the worse that your rig is, the better you do.
Huh?
Look at
That
that!
may
Look
be
at
the
this.
case. I actually came in second on one of
I'm
those.
curious how.
I had a great ring, and I totally bombed the first two. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. Those were great questions again.
Yeah,
Guys,
this
again,
whole week,
y'all need
really good
advice on
questions.
such interesting things, and we love to provide that advice, whether it's good or bad. I think we probably shoot it down the middle.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, maybe it's very beneficial to you. But if you need advice on anything else, leave it down in the towel section down below, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Quality 8th place.